Hi, in this video I want to teach you how to crochet this sweater. It's for around an age of 3 to 5, almost 6 years old. It's very easy to do, and here is the list of material you're gonna need to make. To make this sweater, this is the 4 color yarn that I'm gonna use: black, purple, pink, and white. You can use any color combination. These all are from Loose and Thread Impeccable, medium 4, 100% acrylic. Each ball of yarn have 128 grams or 245 meters. And the crochet hook is whatever size you have in hand that you want to use. Could be from 4.5, 5, 4 millimeters, it's up to you. And you're going to need tapestry needle and scissor and a measuring tape. I know with black yarn you don't want to see what I'm going to do. That's why I'm going to start my explanation with a different colored yarn. But just to explain the beginning of the sweater, how many stitches and how I'm gonna start. And then once I have the desired width with the black, that I change to purple, and then I'll continue working with the other colors. So for the beginning I'll be working with a different color yarn, but just to show you the design. So let's start making our baby sweater. Let's start to use my mannequins. I'm so excited. This one is the bigger size, the toddler around 3 years old. So the measurement is here around the hip. So I already did my work with the black, and that's what we're gonna do around there. So it's a little bit bigger than 3, but you don't want this too tight that you don't can wear a t-shirt underneath. So this will fit from 3 to 5 years old, the one I'm making. So this is 40 chain. So if you want it smaller, you can do 30 chain, 25, it's up to you. But you get the measurement from your baby's hip. That's the wider part at the body. We're gonna do this part that I already done, but I did with the black. So this one measure 36 centimeters by 8. Okay, that's the black. So with this color that I have here, I'm gonna show you how we're gonna do this part. So I'm gonna do slip knot, and I'm gonna do a chain of 40. You're gonna do a chain of 40. I don't gonna do 40 because I don't need that amount of chain, because this is just to showing you what I did for that one, the stitch. So you're going to chain the amount of chain that you need for yours. For mine was a chain of 40 plus 1 to turn my work around, because we start with rows of single crochet. So go ahead and do the amount of chain that you need for yours. Once you have the amount of chain that you need for yours, for mine this was 40. I'm going to do one more. That was 41 that I did for that one. So this one is just a short chain. You're going to go to the second chain from the hook, and you're going to do a single crochet. You're going to do a single crochet in every single chain space until the end. You're going to chain 1, turn your work around, and you're going to do 2 more rows of single crochet. In total are 3 rows of single crochet. And here are the single crochet. You pass it through the chain, you have 2 loops, pass it through those 2 loops, and you have your single crochet like this. So I'm gonna do 3 rows of single crochet. I finished the first row. I'm gonna chain 1. I'm showing this just in case it's a beginner that's watching this video and they don't know how to turn their work around. You chain 1, turn your work around, and in that first hole that you have there, you're going to do your single crochet. If you go to the second one, you'll be decreasing that stitch. And that is a mistake that a lot of beginners make. That's why their projects start to go narrow. I had that question quite a few times, because they say they don't know how to do a square, and it's because they decrease that stitch there, and sometimes they do the same in the last one. So you're going to do 1 single crochet on top of each single crochet, and you see that's nice and straight there. For the last stitch, I always go here in that little one that I go up a little bit. I always go there, that way it's nice and straight at the end too. like that. So straight in here and straight in there. So you're going to chain 1 and again turn your work around, and in that same space there, in the first one there, you do your first single crochet, and you see it nice and straight. So you're going to continue doing this row of single crochet, and then I will show you how to continue. Once you get to the end, you're going to chain 2, and look, it's nice and straight in both ends. You're going to turn your work around, and you're going to do half double crochet on each space, and that chain 2 counts as the first one, so you don't have to do another one in there, because otherwise you'll be increasing. So you go to the next one and you do your half double crochet on each single crochet from the row before, all the way to the end. Once you finish that row, it will be a piece like that. You're going to chain 2, turn your work around, and this is the right side of the piece, and you'll know that because your tail always will be in your left hand, like that, when it's facing you. So this is the right side. So now we're going to work the post, back post, this row completely. So you're going to come here and you're going to do back post double crochet in every single one. Like that. We're going to finish this row with a half double crochet on top of the second chain, and you're going to chain 2, and chaining 2 at the beginning and finish with a half double crochet at the end, because when you work the post they are double crochet, but since they work under that, see that row there, the double crochet will be shorter, so that's why you have to begin and finish with half double crochet, so, or chain 2. So now you turn your work around, and in this size will be like that. This is the inside part of the sweater, so they will be front post like this all the way to the end. And then the right side, it will look like this. So you're going to continue doing that row of front post, and you come back to a row of back post and one more row of front post, and at the end you'll have these 4 row that look like a chain row. You see, they look like chains like that. So you did the row of half double crochet, and that's 1, and then you have to do 1, 2, 3, 4 more row of front post or back post double crochet. And if you're making this for an older kid, you can do 2 more rows. So you will do 1 row of back post and 1 row of front post, and you have to finish in the right side of the piece when your tail is in your left hand. Well, here now we're going to change color to the purple one. So I'm going to do a slip knot, and I'm going to leave a tail, that way it's easier to lose that tail. And I'm going to do slip knot, and that loop, I don't want the loop too small because I want that knot to be on the other side of this loop. So here's the loop with the black. You're going to pass this new one through that loop, and you're going to pull the tail of the black, and you see the knot is on the other side at that loop that you pull there. So now if you like, you can cut this one here, leaving a tail for sewing. That side there, I leave it long enough. I like to leave extra. You never know. And now I'm going to do a knot in between this tail and this purple one to secure the last stitch. I don't want that one to get loose, like that. So now with this loop here, the new color, I'm going to chain 2. That's 1 and 2. And I apologize that I'm working with dark yarn, is that not always have to be pinks and and blues. I like the dark colors too. The combination of dark colors is amazing. So now we're gonna work in the back loop. You're gonna yarn over. We're gonna do half double crochet, and we're gonna do them in the back strand of yarn of this one here. So I'm gonna show you in this one here. If you look here, you'll see that you have one front strand of yarn and one in the back, and you're going to be working in this one in the back, that one in the back. Okay, so that's what we're doing in here, the change of color. So I'm going to bring really close, that way you guys can see. You see one strand in the front, one in the back, and we got this one in the back, and we're going to do half double crochet again in the 1.5, and I'm doing it in the back strand. I don't work in the post, because if I work the post, you will see, you see here, you don't see it because it's the same color, but when you change color, you will have that color showing under the black here, and I don't want that. I want to be a nice transition of color. So if you don't can see well what I'm doing here, just fast forward this video and check when I changed color from the purple to the pink, or from the pink to the white, and exactly what I'm doing there is what I'm doing here. Okay, so you're gonna work the back strand of yarn all the way to the end. When you get to the end, you're gonna chain 2, 1 and 2, turn your work around, and again you're gonna work this row front post, and the next one back post, front post, back post. For mine, in the black one, I change color after having 4 of these, the sign here. So I'm gonna work front post. I don't know why with the light of the camera the purple look like almost like a blue, and it's an incredible purple, like an orchid color. So if I turn my work around, you see, this is the design here that I will have 6 with the purple. With the black I have 4 and 6 with the purple. So continue working a row of front post, a row of back post, like that. You're gonna finish this row with a half double crochet at the end. You're gonna chain 2, and you turn your work around, and your piece will look like this. You see? And in the back, it's smooth like this, like. So you're going to continue working your back post, front post, back post, front post, until you have 6 of these in the front. Here I did 6, and it's the same width as the black, but I want it wider than the black. Here I did my row of single crochet in the 4 of these. So I did 6 here, and it's exactly the same width, the 2 of them. So I want each color to be wider than the one before. So I'm gonna continue working with the purple until I have my desired width, and then I will let you know for how many more of this design you will do yours. And 2, you can guide yourself from your baby measurements, or a sweater from the baby. Remember, these 2 colors you want to be half at the length of your sweater. So I'm gonna continue. I will let you know, and it'll look like this so far. I finished, and I did 9 at this rigid, I think is the word that I'm looking for. And if you look at here, these tend to go like that, but that is I'm not decreasing any stitches. Is that if I do this, they will even up. This is like netting and purl. When you do net in one side and purl and the other side, the purl tend to push the net and roll them up. And here is the same. You see, they tend to go up a little bit, but when you sew this, it will be fine. So I'm going to put it like this. That way you guys see it better. And this one here, the purple measure 10.5 centimeters. Remember, this one measure 8 and this one 10.5. And it looks like this. So now we're going to change color. Now we're going to change color to the pink. I'm going to do a slip knot. And remember, I don't want that loop too small. It's big enough that that knot is at the other side of this loop. Here. Here's the purple loop. I pass the pink one through. And I'm going to pull the tail of the purple. And you see the knot is and here on this side at that loop. Now again, I'm gonna cut my yarn, the purple yarn, leaving a tail, and I will do a knot, the purple and the tail and the pink together. That way I secure that half double crochet there, exactly the same as I did with the black and purple here. And I did a knot to secure that stitch. And you're going to chain 2, 1 and 2, turn your work around, yarn over, and we're going to do the same transition that we did from the black to the purple. We're going to do here, if you look your work, you'll have one front strand of yarn, one back, and you go in the back here, and you do your half double crochet. Again, yarn over, and again, in the back strand here, you do your half double crochet. So if I show you here in the pink, to see a better view, you have that front strand and the back here, and that back one is where we're working, and here, see, in the back strand here. Like this, you're gonna continue all the way to the end. Here is what the piece starts to look like. And it's amazing how in the camera it I'm looking through the camera, it look like I'm working with blue and pink and don't go together. But in real life, here in front of me, is amazing the combination of the two colors. I think I'm gonna take a picture with my phone to see if I can see better the two colors and put it here the way you guys see the color, how amazing they look together. So now I'm going to continue working with the pink, exactly the same as I did with the purple and black. And this time I have here these 9 rigid of the purple. Now I want around 12, 13 of the pink. That way it's a little bit bigger than the purple. And after that I will start working with the white. And remember, if you are doing this one color, you will work the same design until you get almost to the shoulder, but remember, you have to give a space. You don't come in all the way up because you have to leave the open for the color. Okay, so I'm going to continue working off camera with here. I finished with the pink, and I did 11 of these rigids, and now this one is almost at the base, you know, where the arm start. So now I'm going to start with the white, and I decided that I don't like this side for the right side of the piece. I like better the wrong side, the smooth part. So as you work your piece, you will decide what size you want for the outside. But for me, it's going to be this one. And I'm still going to do the change of color in this side like I did the rest of them. That way, every single one is the same. and I'm gonna work until almost the base of the neck, and then I will separate the shoulders of each side. And you're gonna do 2 of these exactly the same. Right now with the pink around here right now, around there. So with the white I'm gonna work until I am here at the base, and after that I will separate one shoulder and the other one. Now we're gonna change color to white, and then we're gonna do exactly the same that we've been doing so far. I'm gonna bring it here, and you're gonna pass the white through, and you're gonna pull that pink tail. And now I'm gonna cut my yarn, leaving a tail for sewing, and I'm gonna do a knot here and these two to secure that pink, that way it don't get loose. And now I'm gonna chain 2, turn my work around, and now you're gonna see much better what we do in the half double crochet. You see you have the front and back loop, and I'm working in that back loop a half double crochet, and again in the back loop. So like this, I'm gonna continue all the way to the end, and I'm gonna start working the stitch on the front and back post until I get to the height of the color. So I will let you know how many of these rigid I will do with the white before I separate the shoulders. Here I have 6 of the white, and only 6 because if I do more it will be too long. So now I'm gonna separate the shoulder part and the color. Here I already did my chain 2, and this is the side that I want for the right side. It was the other one, but I realized I like this one better than this one. So you pick whatever size you like. And now I'm gonna do 13 stitches, counting the chain 2 as the first one. So I'm gonna work until I have 13. Here I finished 13. I'm gonna chain 2, turn my work around, and I'm gonna work those 13 again. Once I have these 13, I will work the same stitch back maybe 1 or 2 more times, so in total maybe 4 times. So I will let you know when I'm finished. Here I did those 4 rows, and if you like to leave it like this, you will chain 1, cut the yarn, count 13 stitches, and start working in those 13 stitches from the inside out. But if you wanted to do it like me, that I like to make my sweater in one piece, that way I don't have to sew in the shoulder, and then you continue with me. So what I'm gonna do now is continue working these 13 stitches until I have enough to fold it in half, and it will be the same length as this one here. That will be the back part of the shoulder. Okay, and I will then, after I finish that, I will start working here, and I'll show you how to do that. And after that, we'll continue working in the back of the piece exactly how we did the front. Okay, so I will continue, and I'll let you know how many more rows I will give to this of mine. Here I did 8 for mine. So if you do more than 8, you have to make sure that you've always finished in the outside of the piece, because later when we attach the yarn again to work in the back piece, it will be in this side here to start. So it will look like this. And now I'm going to show you how you're going to start on the other side. Here I'm going to chain 1, and I'm gonna cut the yarn leaving a tail long enough because I'm gonna attach my yarn later to this one. Okay, so it had to be long enough, and I'm gonna leave it like this in here. Here I already marked my 13 stitches from the outside end, and I have a slip knot here. And what I'm gonna do now is to work this as I did the other post and the front post. So to do that, I have it like that, you see, and I'm gonna pass that loop behind that post like that, and I'm gonna close that with a chain. And like that you work that stitch on the post. So you're gonna do another chain, and you have the 2 chain as you do your 2 chain for the half double crochet. So that post is work in the front like the other one. So you're gonna continue working your front post until you have your 13, and you're gonna continue until you have the same amount of row that you did on the other side. And this time I'm gonna finish in the inside. Okay, remember this one we finished in the outside here, this one will finish in the inside, my A row. So I'll meet you here when I have my A rows. This look like this when you finish. You have your A row and you finish in the center. So they will be like this for the back. So now you're gonna do a chain of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 chain in here. So you finish here in the center with a half double crochet. So you're gonna do a chain of 14. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Now you're gonna go to the other side in here, the center, and you're gonna do slip stitch on top of that chain 2. You're gonna chain 1 and cut your yarn, and you finish creating the open for the head or the collar. So after that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this yarn and attach it here to this one, and then I'm gonna start working with the white until I have the same width that I have here. So when I fold it in half, let me cut the yarn here. When I fold it in half like this, I will have the same width until here, and then I will attach the pink, and I want to have the same width with the pink, and the same with the purple, and the same with the black. I'm just going to show you how to do that row in here that we have to do now, and then from there you can continue working the color as you did the other part. Here I'm going to show you how I do the knot to attach the 2 yarns together. So this is the yarn attached to the piece, and this one is from the ball of yarn. So I grab the one from the ball of yarn and put it under the other one, and I cross them like this. I put my fingers there to secure those strand of yarn, and I pass this one from the ball of yarn on top of my thumb, and in between those 2 strands of yarn, and between here, between my thumb and my pointing finger, and I secure them there. Now I grab this tail, and I will pass that tail through that loop. You have to be careful not to pass the other one too. And then you grab those 2 tips and hold them there. I hold always, this one is the one attached to the clothes, and this one to the ball of yarn, and I pull that one like this a little bit and a lot, and then I change hands, and with this one I pull that one as much as I can. Now I can cut the yarn here, the tips, and I know that knot don't go anywhere. Okay, so you see it's nice and secure. I do this, and like that is like those knots that come on your ball of yarn sometime from factory. So now I'm ready to work. Remember, I already chained one before, so I only had to chain one more, and I'm gonna do my post in here. There are 13 with a chain 2 until I get to the one before the chain, and then I will work in here. Here I'm gonna do the last one, and this one that we've been doing the chain 2 or the half double crochet, you're gonna do one in there too for your 13, and now you're gonna do half double crochet in your 14 chains. You have to make sure that you do 14 half double crochet. That's 1, 2. So you're going to continue until you have your 14. Okay, here I have my 14 half double crochet, and then this one here, that is the one that we are doing the chain 2 or the half double crochet. We're going to work that one in the post too, and you're going to work every single one as a front post until you get to the end, and it will look like this. Once you finish this row, you're going to chain 2, and it will look like this. So now you're going to turn your work around, and you're going to work those all the stitches. You have to have 40 there as back post double crochet until you have the same amount of row that you have with the white here. And I have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think. Yeah, 6. So the same width. And then once you have the same width, you'll change from the pink, the white to the pink, and then from the pink to the purple, and the purple to the black. Exactly the same way we've been doing that. So I'm gonna work off camera, and then once I have the other side done, I will show you how you're gonna continue. And remember, you have to make sure that you have your 40 stitches that you started with. Here I have 6, but I want the back part of the collar to be a little higher up than the front. So what I'm gonna do one more row for the back. That will be 7. I will be finishing in this side, and then when I fold it in half, this one will be just one row higher in the back like this, you see, and then it will be even in here. Okay, with it, because if I even it up now, it's even in the top, the same, exactly the same. So I want the back to be a little bit higher, so I will do 7 of these rigid for the back with the white, and I will finish in the opposite end that I've been finished so far. All these tails are in this side, and now this new tail will be on the other side. Here I finished my other row, and now I'm going to change color, but this time I'm changing color in the part that I picked for the right side. Remember, before we were changing color in this row, but now we're going to turn our work around, and we're going to change it here in the front. So I'm going to change color here, and I will show you how we're going to do that, work in the other side. Before we were working in the back strand of yarn of this stitch, now we're working in the front. I don't know why it's really a little bit difficult to see with the white yarn and the light. Let me see if I can move the camera a little bit for you to see. So you're gonna have like a V in the top. I don't know if you guys can see well. Sorry that I'm moving the camera to see if you guys can see better. Here you see, in here you see the stitch. You have that one in the back and this one in the front, and that one in the front is the one that you are working. Okay, it's like a V stitch in the top, and in that one is that you're working the half double crochet, and you have to make sure that you only grab one. Let me place the camera back in place. So you see, I'm grabbing just that one, like that. So I'm gonna continue working with this one till the end, and then working my stitch until I have the same width as the pink, and then I will change to the purple exactly how I change color, and every single time I change color. And I will meet you here when I have my piece done all the way to the black. Here I have my 4 of the black, and now what I have to do is my 3 row of single crochet. And remember, we did 1 row of half double crochet, so here, since we did this row of post, we don't have to do that row of half double crochet because they look here like short, like half double crochet. So I only have to do 3 rows of single crochet, and like that we'll finish the body. This is what it looks like once you finish the back. Now what I have to do is the sleeves. You see, it's very easy. Here I did one of the sleeve, and I did it in black that way go in the combination with this part here. And what I did was I measured 15 centimeters from the shoulder. I evened it up the piece, and I measured 15 centimeters from the top to the bottom here, and it was like a 1 finger, almost 2 row to the pink. And I cast on 37 half double crochet, and the rest I work double crochet, the rest of the sleeve. What I did was every 4 row I did a decrease, and I only did 3 decrease in total. At the end here I did 4 row of single crochet, and the first row I did just 1 single crochet on top of each double crochet. In the second row I did a decrease, so I did a decrease in the first one and every second single crochet. So I did 1 decrease, 2 single crochet, 1 decrease, like that. That was row number 2. From row 3 and 4 I did just 1 single crochet on top of each single crochet, no more decrease, and end up like that. So that's what I did. I did it in black, that way it got nice with the bottom of the sweater. And I'm gonna do here on the other side the same. I'm gonna measure my 15 centimeter, that is around here, from here to here, and I'm gonna do my 37 half double crochet. And the second row I will do 37 double crochet, and in the next 2 row is 37, and then in the row after that one will be a decrease in the beginning and at the end. So you'll have to do the sleeve by yourself because I did it black, so you don't gonna see anything that I will do. That's why I'm explaining. I hope by now you know how to do half double crochet, single crochet, and double crochet. It's very easy, just in this piece here, and you decrease if you like it, or if you don't know how to decrease, you can do a straight, and at the end you can do just your half double crochet every second stitch, just like that. And here in the top I may do a crab stitch. It's like the backward single crochet around the top, and black too. That way it have a nice combination with the black and the sleeve and in the bottom. So I already saw this one here, this side here, you see I did with the pink, saw the pink, with the purple, and with the black I saw the black. So I'm gonna do the same in the other side, and I will show you. Here I want to show you I did my row of half double crochet. I have my 37, so I chain 3. I will do 37 double crochet in 4 row, and then number 5 I will do a decrease. I will do 4 more row, and then the next number 5 I will do another decrease and 4 more, and then the next I will do 5th I will do another decrease 3 times. So after that I will continue working straight until I have a total of 33 centimeters long with the 4 row of single crochet. This is the amount of yarn that I have left from the 4 ball of yarn. Like you see, the black one I use pretty much everything, and I have enough of this color to make a hat for a combination with the sweater. So now I'm going to show you the end result. And I love this piece. Like you see, it's very easy to do, and I'm going to show you in the back. The stitch that I did here was the crab stitch. Is the single crochet that you work backwards. This will fit around from 3 to 5, almost 6 years old. It's a really nice size for me because I never had done that size before. I'm glad I got these mannequins to get the measurement for it. So I hope you guys like it, and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you are not already a subscriber. And if you do this piece and you want to send me some picture, you can do it through my Facebook page, Ruby Stedman. I wish you have a beautiful day. Bye.